Hi everyone. Today we will look at the firewall, more specifically uncomplicated firewall, so-called UFW. UFW. So we'll look at the UFW based firewall practices in Linux. So we'll install and configure UFW, and then look at some of the things. A specific IP address may be open or block, deny. We can limit the connection rate. For example, someone wants to come in through SSH remotely, multiple times failure, then connection may be refused. That type of things will be discussed as well. And services on specific interface only, so we can manipulate, we can manage the interfaces, interface card, we can manage the IP address together with the port numbers. And also we can logging activities, some packets coming in or going out through a specific interface card, or through specific or to specific IP, or from specific IPs. We can log it, and then we can review it. Also, we can close it. Some of the rules that we can, of course, through this UFW, we can create multiple rules. That rules may be created this old-fashioned IP tables, the command. IP table commands is the command that is available in typical firewall. But there is a front-end interface, which is UFW. This is handy, uncomplicated firewall. Through that, we can also create a rules and delete, activate, or deactivates. Port scanning also possible. So this kind of a firewall may be set up, or we can restart as we wish. You may be able to see as we use UFW or IP tables, more and more rules may be added, and finally there may be certain cases too many rules, or the rules themselves may be inconsistent, or maybe conflict among themselves. Then we need to clean them. There is ad hoc skills that you may need to build. We need to start into that highly sophisticated network management skills. There are two things of the firewall. Typical, that is a fire engine. You may think of, there is a muscle, okay? And then there is another uncomplicated firewall, which is a dashboard, or there is an interpreter. They can work together. Typical example of a firewall, the language is IP tables. On the other hand, UFW, the language is UFW. Okay. So firewall is a general security system, can monitor, controls network traffic based on rules. On Linux, so real firewall engine is IP tables or NF tables. So neural network firewall back end. So this guy is sitting on back end, run the engine. Into that engine, we may sit on the dashboard to do some of the user interface. So this is a simpler interface, which is a front end. Don't forget, this is not the replacement of the old firewall. This is just a friendly user interface. Okay, you can mod so that through this UFW we can modify the tables. Okay. So rules in firewall. What the rules can do? Rule may be able to allow or deny some of the packet behaves. So when UFW is disabled, in other words, today we will enable UFW so that we can practice something. At the end, you may disable it. What does that mean to the system? If you disable the firewall. Firewall is there, right? You may, of course, completely destroy all the rules. Rules we call default. Default rules may be destroyed, that can be destroyable as well. But if you do disable the UFW, technically, everything is allowed. UFW stops filtering packets. When you do disable, then there's no further filterings. So every port on your Raspberry Pi or Linux become visible to the network. Okay, firewall is there, but it is not really enacted. The service barrier, just because the firewall is off, doesn't mean a port is open. A port is only open a specific program is running. Okay, for example, if you set up MySQL, then MySQL has its own port, so that port may be able to open. Flask, there is another simple faster prototyping tools for web services, right? Some other course I'm using Flask as well, so you may be able to understand this later. But at this point, you know VNC, right? VNC viewer. Then VNC open the port. So we know what it is. So that, as far as a program is up and running on your system, on your Linux, then the port assigned to that application is open. It's not really directly related with the firewall. Port is open, but firewall can manage about the port. For example, you can turn off UFW and doesn't have a web server running. The port 80 remains closed. But if you start the web server run, then port 80 is open. In other words, the web server listens to any request from outside. This firewall can control kernel level the securities. So security revert back to the Linux kernel raw state if you disable UFW. So by default, usually accept all incoming, deny and outgoing traffics, unless you have a manually configured IP tables. So everything's possible. If you disable the firewall, in other words, look at this. If you disable this firewall, there's no firewall, right? So it could be possible. If you enable this firewall, then depending upon the rules, your packets may be controlled, under control. The UFW default rules, when it is enabled, simply when you enable, then default is this: incoming, denied, outgoing, allowed. Okay, so all at the global level, default route is deny. Because the fire is up and running, right? You enable the firewall, then the default rule is we blocked any packets coming from outside. But we can let anything go out if needed. So web access possible from inside. So does enabling UFW wipe out all the rules? No, it is not, right? Even if you do disable, rules still there, okay? When you disable UFW, your rules are stored safely in a configuration file that must aren't being applied to the network traffic. The moment you enable it again, all those rules snap back into place, exactly as they were. So we have to first install. So those are the steps. So I'm going to push this a little bit aside. And then we'll do, I am going to connect the Raspberry Pi. I believe that is this. All right, and open up the terminal. Nice. So although it is already installed, I'll do UFW. Then I think 0 upgraded. And then sudo UFW enable. Then firewall is active and enabled on the system setup. Okay. And then if I want to allow SSH from outside, then rule updated. So sudo UFW status, and then if I do numbered, then I may have the rules, right? SSH is enabled. The port for SSH is 22, so there's a 22 TCP protocol is allowed. Allow in, so you can come in from outside. My platform is here, MacBook. So I want to see if I can get in SSH, so that I do SSH Jyun, that is my ID, Jyun. And IP of this is, I think, IP A, then I may be able to see my IP. WLAN 192.168.1.162. So I can do here at 192.168.1.162. 162. Let me make sure if it is it. So 192.168.1.162. Okay, so I can log in, and it asks me to enter the password. Remember that my password is Mercy. Enter. Then this is my Raspberry Pi. This is the terminal, similar to this, but this is direct access. This is from SSH. Okay. So that is possible because I did here allow in, right? So this kind of things is a UFW configuration, and then one example of setting a rule. So you see the rules already set up. You can do disable. So sudo UFW disable. The rules there, right? But rule is not not enforced, because if we do disable, we can get it back, right? So I can still there because I already there, right? And then we can reset. If you want to reset the factory reset, then you need to do this. Sudo UFW reset. As you practice, if you mess up some of the rule sets, then you may need to restart. This is just at the worst case. At worst case for a best scenario that you can restore. Now, if you want to allow SSH, let's see here, install, enable, we did this. See if you can log in. So we logged in, right? And then sudo, we have the status numbered. So let's see if it is number there. So that is inactive. So we need to UFW enable. And let's see if it is still there. Rules, I disabled the rules, and then I enable it. So rule remains there safely, right? That's what we meant in the earlier slide. If I want to delete this, you can delete it. Sudo UFW delete, and then there's a number because I said numbered. I want to see the status of UFW rules. So there is a line numbers. So we can choose one or more of those to do some, in this case, a delete. So I want to delete this. So second item, first and second item, both together created from that allow SSH command, UFW allow SSH command, but it can be, because of one for IPv4, the other one IPv6, okay? We're working on v4. So I want to delete rule number 1. So deleting proceeds the operation. If I say yes, see if what happens here. Things still okay, right? Still okay, because already in. So the rule is not applied, but already in is still there. Then you see that you can log in. So I can log out and try to log in again. If you want to log in newly, sshjun at 192, the same IP address for the Raspberry Pi. It doesn't respond, right? So verification of the rule enforcement. In this case, there is no rule. In other words, SSH login is not allowed. To see that, to verify the effect of that rule deletion, the number one that you could do is to issue, to use that application, in this case, SSH, from your laptop remotely. Then you can see clearly whether it is still effective, confirmed, or it is not, as you see here. But it takes time because this guy needs to talk to the Raspberry Pi. So it takes time. Is there any other way that we can see from outside, hey, I want to see if SSH is available? We'll see that a little later. Yeah, it returned. It says a connection timed out because my Raspberry Pi Linux operating system does not respond to that because that packet is not allowed to do service. So there's a denied. And then you can allow again and do, we already did that, right? So let's do that, enable. And then numbered, then you can see that that one's, the previous V4, this one was deleted, but this one is available now. So you can do sudo ufw allow SSH, then it can be done. So back to open the port number 22. 22 is a port number assigned to SSH through TCP protocol. So V4 numbered 1 and V6 numbered 2. Okay. Next, if sudo ufw status numbered returned blank list says status active followed by nothing, it means that your custom rules are gone. Does it mean that your firewall blank slates? No. Explain it, so we'll explain it later here. There is a hidden rules, global default policies. Even if you delete, let's say I want to delete sudo ufw delete to sure and now numbered, delete one on number one on only, so that I want to delete this. Yes, so everything is gone, right? So if I want to see this, there's nothing, right? Status is active, but there is no rule. But it doesn't mean that there is no rule. Why? Because UFW is active right now. So firewall is burning, right? So in this case, global default policy is running. What that means is that incoming denied, all incoming, all outgoing allowed. So if you want to see that, then you can see sudo ufw status verbose, then status here, logging on, low, default to deny, incoming denied, outgoing allowed, and the routing disabled. New profile is not, right? So global rule policy is still there. And the next one is, well, this kind of rules, right? There's a built-in rules that we did, right? We did some of the built-in rules. So one of the hidden rules, if it is a built-in, default rules and built-in rules is still possible. If you want to see it, then you can see from the engine, not the UFW. Okay, IP tables. So sudo IP tables -L for list, -N is for numbering. And if you want to see all, then you can see all. So many, if you want to see here more, page by page. So there's an incoming input dropped, policy dropped, but there is a something that you can see 0.0.0.0, which means input is not allowed. Okay. There is, you have before, after, reject. Some of the rules, I'm not going to explain all of this, but there is a built-in rules available, right? You can see here something for input, something for forward, something for output, and then after forward, after input, and then UFW after logging forward, UFW after logging input, UFW after logging output, UFW after output, UFW before forward. So rules are somehow here something accept drop, ICMP type, in other words, ping may be possible, right? Some of the rules. So long list of rules still there, although we deleted everything. Okay. The other type of the hidden rules is application rules that you can see. If you started some application, for example, sudo UFW application list, then we can see some of the applications. For example, OpenSSH, then sudo UFW app OpenSSH. What did it say? Is this syntax error? Maybe then need to put I think. Okay, let's try it this way first. No. So what I'll do, instead of app, we'll do list. Oh, you might see the things OpenSSH, or simply app list. Oh yeah, we looked at all of those, right? I think this is some of the rules. You might still see the OpenSSH VNC. So I have here VNC and OpenSSH. This is for SSH. This is VNC. Some of the Apache that we built. how they are connected. There's a hierarchies. So user layer, that's what we do, right? Uncomplicated firewall rules that we set up. So you work on here, right? It goes into this engine where there is IP tables, and it goes all the way down to kernel layer. Okay, this is a front end. So this is a back end. Actually, this is typically back end for a firewall. So all together is called the firewall. This is kernel levels. Okay. If you want to disable something permanently, then you need to do sudo IP tables -f. Then everything will go. So man IP tables table options, A for append. Okay. We'll see this a little later again, right? Append some of the rule chain. And then C for check, delete, insert, if you want to insert some rules. And then replace -R. L for list, list rules. F for flush. So this is exactly what we are trying to see here. Flush the selected chain. This is equivalent to deleting all the rules one by one. Okay, so that you can do sudo IP tables -f, then you can disable all permanently. If we want to recover that back, then you need to do sudo using UFW, user interface. When you delete permanently, you use IP tables, here UFW, and then reload. So if we want to try that, you can do that. So sudo IP tables -f. Takes a while because it purge all the rules permanently. So what happens here? We lose PNC. Okay, so I think we need to go back to attempting to recognize to remote device timeout ratings. So that is gone, I guess. So what we will do, nothing is possible. Come back here. I think I need to restart at the server side. So while we are working on the firewall also control VNC. Now you guys can see my lecture and my lab through VNC, where there is my laptop and the other side of a VNC connection. There we have a Raspberry Pi Linux box. So can be may disconnected at this time, like this time, right? So we'll, yeah, this kind of things is very normal, very, very normal. So I want to record this rather than doing this while you are there in class. So please wait. Putting up text time. So I'm looking at my monitor. I have extra monitor up and running so I can see that. You guys may need to scroll forward. But I do not want to stop. I want to show you the actual time that you may expect at your side as well. I think it is almost. Okay, I think it is up. All right. So let's check sudo ufw status. Now inactive. So ufw enable. It is enabled. So I want to see the numbered. Probably nothing. Oh, what's this? Oh no. Not enabled the numbered status. Nothing, right? On your console, if you do this, then you can reload immediately. But in my case, I am working through the VNC. VNC is one of the application that can be managed by Firewall. So when I disable permanently, so it's gone. Now I rebooted, and now it is my UFW is active, but there is no rule. So we look at, see here, I want to show you some of the histories. Then UFW status enable and UFW app, UFW delete, allow, those things are the options, right? So let's look at some of the options of UFW. So we can see the status. UFW status, then you can see the status of, you can see the list of the current rules. And there's another sub options, status numbered, then all the rules can be numbered. So you may be able to do other additional actions, for example, delete, so that you can delete some of the rules. UFW can be enabled and disabled, and default. You can set up the rules sudo UFW default deny incoming. Then you can block all incoming packets from outside. Reload, restart UFW to pick up the changes without needing to a full reboot. But we did a full reboot because we lost VNC connections. We can also manage it, the port numbers. So we can do sudo UFW allow some of the port numbers. Then this port is open, right? Available. Through that port, you can allow both in and out. But if you want to say, hey, I want to allow only incoming, then you need to say allow in, and then you can say deny out the same port number. Then incoming is okay, outgoing is not okay. Allow, you can followed by allow. Previously we do allow and for example, allow an application, right? Allow SSH, allow port number, and allow service like this, SSH. Port number and protocols. So allow this port number and protocol. Something like if we have 20/TCP, then that is SSH that we looked at earlier, right? And filtering, further filtering is possible. We can do from IP, or from certain IP to any port into my system. So you can do sudo UFW allow from specific to any port. So for example, here, this is my laptop. This is my Raspberry Pi. From my laptop, I want to allow anything. To any port means any application. I can allow it. I can also deny it, right? I can do allow in on a specific interface. So allow in on Ethernet, allow in on WLAN 0, something like that. Allow out. So this is a targeted security. This is also possible. Rule can be managed. So we can see the rules in number. If we see, then we can point out a specific rule so that we can delete that specific rules. We can also insert. So we can do, hey, I want to put this one number one of that rule. We can do that. For example, sudo UFW insert one. This is a rule management option, right? And then UFW allow, this is the normal packet control, right? UFW allow from this specific IP. You can also reset UFW. Logging, possible. Logging on and logging off, on and off, the same options. Limit, for example, SSH, you want to limit it. I want to limit 6 times in 30 seconds, then you need to do sudo ufw limit ssh, then it'll be limited. You can see the list of the apps. So app list, app info, app. So sudo ufw app info. Oh, this is the things. Let's look at that. So sudo ufw app info open ssh. This is for the secure shell. So right now that is port number 22 over the protocol TCP. But right now, description of this, this is only, it gives me the information only, right? But UFW status, but there's no rules for that. So if you want to set UFW allow SSH, then you can see that. And if you want to do that, I think this is still the same as before, right? Similarly, if we want to do VNC, the port number is 5900 over the same protocol, TCP. Okay. Okay, black box test. This is a thing. Remember that if some application is blocked or allowed, then definitely you can test it by using that application. This black box testing is, rather than using specific application, like black box testing, can I see something? So what is available, what is not available? So there's a program that we can run, basically NC, Netcat, or Nmap. So two of these applications is very, very useful, particularly for cybersecurity professionals. So I want you to install NC and Nmap. Nmap, you may use it in many other courses, so particularly network security, right? So you can start using Nmap. NCAT is similar to that. So I explained it here. NCAT is a Swiss Army knife. Swiss Army knife for the networking, which means it's easy to use, right? Easy to carry. That is portable. If something happens, then you can simply pull it out and quick use it. It is built into Mac OS, but may not be in the Windows systems. So Mac users are lucky. It's grateful. It's perfect for checking if a specific port is usually listening through the firewall. So command is nc zb, V for verbose, Z, I think that is for the list of the ports, and particular IP address and port numbers. Or you can do simply the nc zb, then you can see that. This is the black box testing can be done from outside the Linux box. So on your Linux box, you can set up UFW, for example. So firewall is setting in certain way. So if you want to test it from outside, so you don't see the Linux box. So you consider Linux box as a black box. You can simply guess something from outside because Linux box is not open. You have no access to the Linux box. Like here, you are completely away from the Raspberry Pi. So I'm on Mac. So I can see NC minus ZB, and then what is my Raspberry Pi IP? Then I can see here there's 192.168.1.162. So I can simply use here 192.168.1.162 and hit enter. Then I can so here SSH connected is a port number, is a timeout. So some of the testing, right? No, oh, here. No, not that one. Here. So NC, missing host name and port. Probably I need to see the the port numbers. So I can do here 5900. That is for the VNC port. So I want to test it from outside if a VNC port is available. So because I assume I have no idea about this IP and this port number, but I want to see it. I want to test it. This is a black testing. So okay, VNC connects to VNC port number, failed operations, timeout. Probably the VNC is not on. Probably, right? Probably is not on. Then what about 22? So that's succeeded. 22 is quickly that we can see. So VNC, let's see here. If we do sudo ufw allow VNC. So rule added. Sudo ufw status numbered. Then the VNC, VNC for IPv4. This 22 that is for the SSH. This is for that. We can do, instead of this, for example, 5900. I'm not sure if 5900 is really VNC. If you want to see that, then you can do socket statistics command, SS. SS is socket command, socket statistics. Man SS, then you can see another utility investigating sockets. So it's dump socket statistics. The options that we can do here, SSH minus usually tulip. TULNP. I said tulip. Tulip. Then we can see the list of all the ports and application. So this is port numbers. You don't see this is port number for the PLC actually. So you can do, rather than that, maybe 5900, that is a port, and then TCP. Sudo UFW status numbered. So 5900, this is by port number and protocol. This is by application, but they're the same, right? So if you want to clean that up, you can do that, right? So how can you do? Sudo UFW delete and number. So number 2. You want to see that, right? So you can see that is out. With that, if you want to see 5900, then you can see that quickly, right? Previously, it takes time out, right? This is a black box. So by looking at this, you can see simply, hey, port number 22 in this IP address is now open. You can see the result quickly, right? Without knowing this. Or you can do, this is nmap is much more powerful. So nmap and then minus pn and 192.168.1.162. Then you can see, you can scan. This is a great tool for cybersecurity professionals. So nmap pn is like this. It's not. Let's read some of this. If your UFW rules block the ping ICMP, normal scan might think IP is offline. Probably it's not off, right? We can see some here. Oh, no, we didn't see that yet. Open, allow rules, filtered and closed. We want to see all of this. So let's wait. See what this guy can do. Meanwhile, on another slide here, installation for Windows. nmap, you can download from nmap.org and then use it. This is simple, right? Instead of ncat, you can do, if you want to do, this is for NC. You have 2 applications. nmap, you do this. NC, you can do this. Similarly for Mac user, NC comes with the Mac OS, so you don't need to do. You simply use it. So we use that, right? This is scan mode. nmap, you need to borrow it. Once you have it, then nmap. Oh, I'm sorry. I think, yeah, we want to use this. So nmap minus p, this is a port. We can list port numbers followed by IP address. So I want to kill this and I want to redo, for example, n map minus p 22 80 5,000 5,000 is usually for Flask. 5,900 that is for VNC. 80 that is for web. So I want to scan through those 4 IPs from my Raspberry Pi. This is a black testing, so I do not have an access to that, but I do have no IP address. Host down is right. Host seems down. If it is really up, blocking out the ping probes. Try PN. And map minus PN 192.168.1.162. If you have space while you are doing, then you have an error. That's why I put here no space in between. But comma should be there, followed by IP address. Then you can see the list of all those things. But I'm not sure why it is not this time. Let's see what is there. So let's see. Oh. Is this the result? Oh yeah. Raspberry Pi host is up. Not show 99 filtered TCP port. 22 open. 5900 open. Okay, so let's try to that one. Okay, nmap minus p. So I give several port numbers to that IP. Hopefully it works this time. Oops. Again. Why? It's not really down, right? As you see here, it is up. When I do ping, it works. Somehow, I think, not sure why, but it works. It worked. Let's see if port number 80 is up. Yeah, 80 is up and running, right? My web server is running. That's what we see here. Web browser. Mercy. Lock. And I have here localhost. It works. and info.php. It works. jun.php. Request jun. Restore the page. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, I changed the Raspberry Pi. That is the reason I do not have that. Right. Hold on. I will replace my Raspberry Pi, my Raspberry Pi. So I want to log out, shut down, and then I'll bring another. Okay. I replaced and now it is being booted. I think it may take time. I think I need to be ready. I think that is this. They get almost. Be patient. I'm not sure. I think it is being up, up, up. Yes. I think it is now ready. Click this. Okay. We'll see. All right. Oh, this is too big. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Web browser. Localhost. I think it is not. Let me close this. Oh, ask me. Unlock. Okay. All right. So Apache 2 web server is running, and info.php PHP is running. Jyun is running. So this is about me. All right. So with that, I want to get. Oh, by the way, what is my sudo ufw status numbered ufw command not found? Or do I have to redo again? Okay. Keep. Let's see. Let's go up. Probably here. So I want to do sudo apt ufw. Yes. All right. Sudo UFW status numbered. Oh, it's not active. So we need to do enable. It is enabled. Number is nothing right now. So sudo UFW allow SSH. Sudo UFW allow 5900 TCP. Right? And then here, right? That's what we were before. So we can see, oh, this is n. So at my side to ping, see if it works. Ping is okay. And the port scanning, still the same. But anyway, it is really up, not blocking. Let's try. Scan seconds. So it is not down. Port. Okay. Probably. But anyway, so assume that you have an NC and Nmap so that we can do block testing, black testing. We can now we will do a little bit of the exercise of using UFW. So first thing here is if you want to deny something from somewhere, then you can do sudo UFW deny from IP address. Okay, so if we want to see SS tulip TULNP TCP okay. So right now, because my app is running, so I'm trying to show how here 192.168.1.162. That is my web server, right? What is IP? Oh, IP is not that one. IP is different. 189. Sorry, 189. So 189. 89. One dot 189. One more time. 192.160. 1.189. Cannot connect the server. Why? Let's see other. 192.168.1.189. That is up and running. Once 1.189 slash info.php. One nine one six eight. I want to do sudo ufw allow in from 192.168.1. What is my IP? My IP address. IF config 179. So I want to do 179. 179. Allow in any allow. So we can do allow from oh no. I think it was blocked, right? So HTML Apache 2 works. 192.168. And then jun.php. It works. Yeah, this is a good example that so I allow that, right? So it works now. So from my, let's see. Oh, this is not one. So it's SSH 192.168.1.189. So I do yes, and then I can get in. We'll see. So it should work. Again, then I think I need to change this. Oops, not this. Oh, this is a Raspberry Pi, so I need to exit. Exit. History. Nmap minus P 22 comma 80 comma 5,000 comma 5,900 and then 192.168.1.189. I didn't change it, so I should change that. Oh, nice. I have here, right? So this nmap gives me, for example, port number 22 open for SSH, 80 open for HTTP, 5000 closed currently because Flask is not open and run, right? So it is closed. But 5900, this is VNC. VNC is now up and running. So this is a black test result. And I think we did it already, some of the block and open. That's what we did, right? So I had here allowed and allow so that we can see sudo ufw status numbered. Very nice. So many things. Remember that I allowed this particular IP, which is my laptop, allowed in. Therefore, by default rule activated in this case, enforced. Anything going out, okay. Anything incoming, then blocked. So from my laptop Safari web browser, so I try to access Raspberry Pi web server. So that is in the Raspberry Pi point of view, that is incoming packets, right? That has been blocked. So I allowed it. Since then, my Safari web browser can receive the result from Raspberry Pi web server. Nice. So if we can do deny all ports, then that is a failed to connect to Mercy port 800. That is also. We can do outbound and inbound. Sudo ufw default to deny outgoing. This is the outgoing default. Incoming also, if we want to deny it, you can do that. But be careful, don't do deny too much. Like myself, frustrated. But as a cybersecurity professionals, by default, I think you may want to keep your infrastructure secured. Therefore, anything from outside, anything going out needs to be initially denied, right? That is okay. This is a sudo. This is number of time of access, maybe the controlled. So we can limit 6 times for the first 30 seconds. That's possible. You can set sudo ufw limit. If you want to delete it, you can delete that. Limit access that, right? What happens here, if you set that, sudo ufw limit and then SSH, I believe, and TCP. Then it can be limited so that you can do SSH. If you fail, do this password fail in 30 seconds 6 times, then I'm giving fake password right now. Now permit denied. This something. And if you want to remove that, there are many ways that you can do. You can do, for example, sudo ufw delete command followed by that limit /TCP. That command, exactly the same command that you can use. Or you can list the number So if there is any limit things, SSH 22, oh, it is not here. Okay, then you need to do sudo ufw delete limit SSH TCP. Then it can be deleted. Yeah, one thing that you could not see here, then you need to spell that out like this. Allow service specific interface only, like UFW allow incoming on specific interface, like on WLAN. That is also possible. On LAN, all WLAN, right? Let's do allow all incoming traffic on WLAN. Then sudo UFW allow in on WLAN. If you want to deny all incoming, then UFW deny in on WLAN 0. Deny incoming SSH on WLAN. Incoming, but a specific service, right? Then deny in on, and then this is port number 22 is for SSH. Allow all outgoing, same thing. Block all outgoing traffic. Yeah, similar to that. UFW deny out on that specific interface. Through that specific interface, you want to deny to any specific port. This is outgoing, but outgoing web browsings to this particular port. Port number 80 is open for HTTP, and the port number 443 is open for HTTPS. That's for secure ones. Block PI from connecting to a specific IP. Deny out if you want to protect your Raspberry Pi for some reason, not manually, but if one of your hidden services or backdoor program which is running, but if you have any suspect IP address, then you can set up like this. Then anything can be denied to go out through wireless LAN to a specific IP. So you can protect. Hey, recently I know some of the toys, some of the electronic devices that's imported from because I know already, yeah, from China. Then inside, for example, a specific the toy, I think one of the toy is Pop Mat, right? That's a popular toy store in America. If you buy expensive ones, not necessarily expensive ones, but some of the toys, inside there is a backdoor programs running. Okay, so that should be very careful. If you can access to program it, then you can protect it. Or you can do, when you set it up on your Raspberry Pi, then you can set up firewall. So deny out on deny out. You don't need to specify any network. So just leave it. Then it can be applied to any interface to a specific IP. Then it cannot go through that. Block IP from anything that you can do. Allow only on IP to access the Raspberry Pi. To your Raspberry Pi, if you want to allow from your laptop only, and if your laptop has a that IP all the time, or any cases, then you can say this is your laptop IP. You can allow in to any ports or any specific port. 22 and protocol TCP. This is more specificity, right, of expressions. Yeah, this doesn't leave anything to default value, but explicitly specify port number, protocol, and then remote IP and network card. And also specify whether incoming or outgoing, whether you want to allow or deny. This is something good, right? So you can do this. Deny all other SSH attempts. Then you can do deny in. So SSH is coming in, right? To any ports through 22 that is SSH and TCP that is for SSH. If you want to log, then you can do anything that can be logged. So let's see, SSH is limited in. Previously that is there. I didn't see this actually. Let's see what is in now. It's not, may not be limited in. SSH is all gone. So I want to set up sudo ufw allow in allow SSH. Okay, that is in. I want to do for example, numbered. So SSH is, I believe this, right? So I want to do sudo ufw insert 3 this is not logging in. This is not logging in, right? I want to show the login. I mean monitoring. Log here. Log all. So let's do this. UFW logging. Logging in. So from this time, it can be logged in. I mean, the log, anything can be logged. Is there anything? Yeah, that can be logged in. Not necessarily this, but logged in. So I want to do SSH and password mercy, then I can get in, right? So I want to put some action here and who are currently in. So at this time I'm incoming. I am logged from 179 from my laptop, and this guy is directly to my shell, bash shell. So I want to exit. And if you see here who, then you don't have that once. Previously you have one more, right? But now only that. That kind of things can be stored somewhere, right? So you can see, because you logged, you turn on the log facilities, right? Two things that you can see. If you go to VAR log, then there is a sys file. Oh, there's no sys file. And ls minus l, I think that is a UFW files maybe. Cannot access. Oops, there's no UFW. I put it on, right? Let's see. Syslog is not currently on. Specific firewall. Logging on. Let's via log UFW sudo. Via log. Via log. There's UFW log. It's not on. So I want to do sudo UFW logging on enabled. Previously, what happens? This is enabled. I think I did similar things, right? Let's see. Logging enabled. I already did. UFW, but UFW file is not being created. It's because of should be. We'll come back to see if anything being okay. One more thing, a block specific website at firewall levels. So if you want to see dig plus short watch.edu to find out IP address. Oh, dig is not available command. Okay. Then sudo apt install dig. Unable to locate the dig. What is, let's see. Oh, DNS utils. There's one of the DNS utils. Okay, DNS utils. Got it. So you can install DNS utilities. So now you can see Mercy website is 23. IP address is 23.185.0.1. If you want to see, I think by default dig, then you can see more. And doesn't give you IP, right? And Then there's a lookup utilities. Let's do plus all. Oh, that is plus all. But I don't see IP address. For IP address, I need to do short, plus short, then IP address. If you want to block outgoing from your web server, then you need to do sudo ufw. For example, from our systems, I do not want anyone to access some of the enemy's IP. Let's say enemy's IP is merge.edu 185.0.1. Then that is edited. So sudo ufw status numbered. Then is there anything that I do? Yeah, this one denied out. So let's see if it is really the case. I want to have here. Where's that view? Meanwhile, I want to show something else, right? cs.columbia.edu. Columbia.edu came up. merge.edu is not, right? Because I denied out. So if you want to protect your users to the access any specific IP, then you can protect it in this way, right? Here's another for example, if you have if we're running the elementary school, the infrastructure, then you can protect it that way. So students can be safe from any invalid, illegal web servers. Logging, monitoring, we looked at that. Let me see if we have we do not have UFW. Logging. It's not on, right? UFW. There is no UFW. Custom rules. You can also use directly the firewall, the language. So sudo IP table, you want to add the input for specific protocol, specific port, and what are you going to do? Jump to drop. If you want to drop anything from to this port and this protocol and that port, if it comes, if it is incoming, then you drop it. You do not want to forward. You want to route. You do not want to route it. So this is a kind of a firewall that you can do, right? So this is usually if we want to manage firewall, then you need to use IP tables. But now we have a front end, like a dashboard. If we use UFW command, that is what we practiced so far, right? Drop all Wi-Fi traffic excepting ping. If you want to do that, then you need to do allow in on that protocol ICMP. ICMP is a ping, right? Ping, if you allow ICMP, then ping is possible. So you can do, so why this is, okay. So you can do sudo UFW allow rather than ping command, you need to use ICMP. ICMP. What did I do? Oh, allow ICMP. Error, cannot find the protocol ICMP. Maybe this is not possible. Let's do the way that we have here. Sudo UFW allow in on WLAN 0 protocol ICMP. Unable to see protocol ICMP. ICMP is not known by, I do not know. It's not known. Deny all other incomings, then you need to do this. After you do this, ICMP allowed and all other not allowed. So the next two slides gives you the summary of UFW options. Okay. So UFW enable, allow, IP table also possible, right? And then system CTL, system control, if you want to do. This is for the kernel levels of manages. And if you want to stop, then stop. If you want to use this command to stop UFW, that's fine. Or do you do UFW disable? Or if you want to use IP tables, then you can do this. The summary here, we usually focus in this lab UFW, right? Sometimes IP tables. IP table is more back-end engine process. So we do this. You can do disable UFW, or you can do IP tables -f so that you can flush out completely. Okay, that is possible. This summary also, you can do UFW enable and allow. Similar things can be done in IP tables. Or you can do this more the Linux level, system control and start UFW. Rather than UFW to enable, then you do at the system levels, you start UFW. That is also possible. So the three ways usually using UFW, that's on dashboard, or you can use the language available on the back end engine, which is IP tables, or at the kernel levels, you can do a systemctl command possible. All right. I think this is all that we need to do for this firewall management. Okay.